All right, guys, sorry about that. Back again, Coffee with Coach. Internet issues, man. Every now and then, got these internet issues. Got to fix them, got to get them corrected and get them right so I can flow nice and easy. Anyways, let's get back to it. So, winning at life for your parents. So, I was talking about before my internet was cutting in and out that I had recently ran into a parent I know, and we got into a conversation and how you doing and how so and so doing. Haven't seen him in a while. Blah blah blah. And this actually has been a couple incidences recently. So it's been on my mind lately. And then I had another conversation with someone else, and I was like, man, I just got to get this out. So the individual, the child, the parent's child, the person I know that I've trained jiu-jitsu, I taught jiu-jitsu to, really isn't doing all that good right now. You know, making some bad choices. Life isn't really treating them all that well, and you know they're going backwards. And when I was talking to this parent, I could see the pain first off, the sadness, the frustration. It really just seemed like, you know, every parent, well, for the most part, because I can't say every parent, but most parents, because not all parents are good parents, unfortunately. But most parents want their child to do good in life. They want to see you grow up, make things happen, be happy, be successful, and live a long, fruitful life, right? But then that's not the way it works all the time. Because why? Because life happens. Like, that's what all these videos are about. Like, all these things come in the way, you know, whether life comes in the way, or like I've talked about before, self-inflicted wounds, where we do things to ourselves, we make bad decisions over and over and over again, to where we put ourselves in a hole, to where we feel like we can't climb out of it and we just give up. And that's kind of where this individual that I know, actually a couple individuals, when I talk to their moms, were talking to me, and it's like they're kind of like reaching out to me for like some help, you know. And I was like, well, I can't really help them if they don't come to class, you know. I can reach out to them, I can message them, I could call them, but it's not the same if they don't come to the mats. You know, they need to come to the mats. They need to be in the atmosphere. They need to be around good people. They need to be around, you know, people that are, you know, that have goals, that aren't out drinking every night and partying and doing whatever else that they're doing that's getting them in trouble. Most jiu-jitsu people aren't really doing that. They are focused on their health and their goals, jiu-jitsu goals and stuff like that. So I was like, I need to somehow get them to the mat, but it's getting them there is a problem, so that we can work on getting them moving in the right direction. So anyways, it really got to me because I think about that a lot. Like, seeing this mom, this parent that I was talking to, the pain in her face, of just wanting her child to do good, you know, to be winning in life, and it's not really going that way, and they know that they can do better, they're just not doing better. Again, a lot of self-inflicted wounds, but it's also life happens, right? That's one of the things, that's why I'm making this video, that pushes me to do what I'm doing, right? So just like everyone else, I'm not perfect. I make bad decisions, bad choices. I say things probably shouldn't say, but not as much as I did when I was like in my 20s or when I was in high school. You know, me and my dad really didn't have that good of the greatest relationship when we were in high school. You know, he worked like 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and you know, it's a long story, but me and him have a really good relationship now, right? He works at the school, everyone loves him, he talks to everyone. But when you're growing up, you're not thinking about all the things your parents did for you to be there for you and to help guide you and try to put you on a path to success and be happy and have a fruitful life. You're just doing dumb stuff when you're growing up as a kid, for the most part. Most people, I mean, there's some kids that, man, they're right on the path right from the get-go. I wouldn't say I was like some bad troubled child, like that was like, you know, just all over the place. But there were some definite times where I know I probably really scared my parents or frustrated them and pissed them off, everything else. Like, hey man, we've done all this for you, to be here for you, sacrificed everything we did for you, their own lives to be there for me by my side. And I'm out here screwing up, making bad decisions. That's life though. Like when you're a kid, man, you just make bad decisions, young adult, whatever. And it wasn't until, obviously getting older where you realize like, man, I need to do better. I need to be right. I need to make better decisions, not only for myself, but what about my parents? So one of the things, this is what I'm getting at. One of the things that pushes me is, well, for the most part, you should never have to, getting deep here, bury your own child, right? You should be old and like you should grow old and pass away, and then you go, and then your child grows old and then they pass away, and so on and so forth. But that's not always the case. Sometimes people's childs pass away before they do. But in my mind, I'm thinking I want to be able to, whenever that time comes, hopefully that's a long time from now. My dad's like in his early 60s. He seems pretty healthy. Hopefully he stays that way. But when that time comes, I want to be able to have him rest in peace, meaning like when it's his time to go and my mom's time to go, like they're like, hey, our son did it, or our kids did it. Like they're doing good, and we can go ahead and leave this earth with thinking like we did a good job with our kids, and our kids are doing good, because that's what pushes me. There's a lot of things. I have a lot of things in life, like a lot of whys, right? A lot of whys that push me. But this one in particular really pushes me, like my parents. Like I think about my parents a lot. They're getting older. I'm getting older. I'm 45. Like I said, they're in their early 60s. And man, I want to make my dad proud. In the beginning, I wasn't doing that. Like, that wasn't my mindset. My mindset is like, you're hanging out with friends, you're partying, whatever. The furthest thing from your mind is like, how proud can you make your parents? Especially if you're hanging around with I won't say the wrong people, but I don't know. That's tough because some of the people I'm hanging out with, I love them and I miss them. Two of them have passed away already. Makes it tough, right? But anyways, the certain situations I was in before, I just wasn't thinking about my parents. I was just thinking about myself. It was being selfish. Now in life where I'm at, I'm definitely thinking about my parents. Like when my parents, like I said, when it's that time, I want them to be able to look at me and be like, be happy. I want them to be happy that I'm doing good, that I'm living my life the way I should be living it because of all the sacrifices they made. There's times where we hang out with my parents and they're talking and they're like, they argue just like any other mom and dad argue. And I would hear these stories how they lived in Detroit, like on 7 Mile or 8 Mile, something like that in Detroit, rough neighborhood. Didn't have a lot of things. My dad's working at some shop and my mom, like they'd argue and she'd hop on the Greyhound bus and take me back to Saginaw. And then my dad would have to go home on the weekend and come and bring us back. And then everything be fine for a while. And then they get into another argument. They were young kids. They were young kids. They were 16 and 17. And then, my mom hop on a bus again. I still hear these stories to these days. It's funny, the way they tell these stories. But anyways, the struggle and the sacrifices that they went through to give me the life that I had, the things that they gave me, maybe not have been as best as some other people, but they definitely broke their backs to give me the life that they gave me. And so I think about that now as I'm older, and I'm very grateful. And I definitely use that as a motivator to do good. Again, make mistakes, say things, do things. Decision-wise, I'm human. I'm just like everyone else, but I'm definitely making better decisions and better choices than I did in the past because I'm thinking about not only just my parents, but other people that helped me on the path. Now, it's rough for some people. Maybe you didn't have your parents, or maybe you're a single parent household. Maybe you didn't, I don't know, whatever your situation is. Luckily for me, fortunate, I have both parents. That's not the case for a lot of people. But there's always someone there that is trying to help you, a teacher, counselor, friend, some type of whatever person that sees you struggling is trying to help you. win for them. If you can't do it for yourself is what I'm getting at right now. Think about the people that have helped you get to where you're getting to, the people that are trying to give you advice, people that are trying to see you, help you do good. Like I try to help so many people, you know, in my academy. I see young kids or even adults come in, they're struggling, you know, mentally and everything else and all the things that they've gone through and deaths and whatever else and divorces and everything else. Like I try to help people get their mind in the right place and try to get them on the right path and do good, because life is tough, man. Life is a huge struggle. But one of the things that helps me with that is my parents. Like definitely at this point in my life, I am definitely trying to make them proud and make them feel like all the sacrifices they went through to give me life and the life that they gave me wasn't for nothing. You know, it was for something. And so if that's you out there and you're having trouble doing it for yourself, do it for someone else. Do it for your parents. Think about them. Like I said, I ran into this mom the other day. This is where this conversation is coming from. I ran into this mom the other day. It was like I could literally, like she wasn't crying, but she was crying inside the way she was talking to me. And that just really got to me. And you know, there's individuals young, you know, and the other parent that I was talking to recently, they're in that person is young as well. So they're in this phase where they're in the younger part of their life. And I'm hoping that they can get that through their head now instead of later, that, hey, you know, my parents did a lot for me. My mom did a lot for me, or my dad, or whoever it is that's trying to help you. Win for them. If you can't do it for yourself, win for them. Think about them. Again, I just have this vision in my mind, like it's all going to happen, man. We're all going to go. We're all going to pass at some point. And when that time goes, I want to be able to look at my parents and be like, hey, thank you. And I want them to look back at me like, hey, you did a great job and thank you because of all the sacrifice that we made. So it really pushes me. Jiu-jitsu has really helped me with that. Like you got to have a passion or something that you're doing that you love to do. Like, I don't know, jiu-jitsu just taught me more about respect, you know, hard work. It's so many ups and downs in jiu-jitsu, and it relates to life and the people. So I have a reason. Like I said, I have so many reasons. I have my family, a daughter, wife, like everything else, like my dogs. I talked about my dogs before, like why I need to be doing good and not doing bad. Again, not perfect, but I definitely making better decisions than I did before, because I'm thinking about other people, other things that rely on me or want to see me do good. I want to do good for them. So take the selfishness out and put yourself in perspective for other people that have done things for you. I know I've had a lot of mentors, a lot of people that gave me advice, and you know, I want to win for them. I want to win for my parents. I want to win for my family. I want to win for my dogs. Like, just, you should have, there should be, everyone should have like a couple of those at least. But, you know, just like I said, just running into this mom the other day, I hope this individual really gets things together, because that mother was in a lot of pain, and it sucks to see that. And like I said, it's tough when you're young. Like I said, I've been there. I know what it's like to be in my early 20s and not thinking like I am thinking now. But if I can somehow drop the seed or some way to where anyone catches this and thinks like, you know what? Yeah, hold on a second. Let me detach, like the Jocko thing. Let me take a step back from all this crazy stuff I'm doing. And let me think about the people that have helped me and are trying to help me and done things for me. And let me get on the right path for them and win for them, you know. So just something I'm thinking about, guys. I was, you know, just been on my mind. And, yeah, I want to win for my parents. I want to win at life for my parents and for all the other people that have helped me put me on this path to where I'm at. And I hope you can do the same, not only for yourself, but those other people. So just think about that. If that's you and you're already doing it, great. Stay on the path. And if that's not you and you're going through some troubled times right now, try to detach from the situation that you're in and put yourself on the right path. Win at life, not only for yourself, but all those people that have done so much for you and sacrificed for you. All right, guys, have a great day, great afternoon. Catch you next time.